Hey peeps, good morning. Okay, so today we're gonna start on the quadratic formula. Now, I want to tell you, because I know some of you guys are gonna take one look at the formula and be like, I don't want to do this, I don't know how to do it, it looks too complicated. It happens every year. Okay, the formula does look complicated, I'm not gonna lie to you. However, I've been with you the whole year, so have a little faith in me. Okay, that's what I'm asking. Okay, because the problems are really not that hard. Okay, if you have not already, I want you to take a second, pause the video, and go get a calculator. Every single one of you will not be able to do this without the calculator today. Okay, so who's ever working the video, pause it, make everybody else go get a calculator. Okay, so first of all, you should all have a quadratic formula day one worksheet. Okay, so make sure it says day one and you guys didn't pick it up from the wrong spot. Sorry. Okay, so we've been dealing with quadratics for quite a while now. So far we've done really three types. We've done the GCF, and we've done when a equals 1, and we drew two parentheses and we made a list. And then we did when a does not equal 1, we drew two parentheses, we made a list on the first number and the last number. Okay, so, but sometimes that doesn't always work. Okay, so sometimes none of those options are great, or the numbers are too big, and it's almost easier to just use this really long formula rather than to guess and check a whole bunch of numbers, which I gave you guys one for extra credit on your test. Okay, and so sometimes the numbers can be really big and there's just too many options there. Okay, so somebody, I don't know who, I'm not gonna lie to you, came up with this formula. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is just a little refresher. So a quadratic looks like this. It looks like ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so all quadratics look like that. Okay, so if we look at number 1, because in order for you to use the formula is just a, b's, and c's. You need to know what is what. Okay, so number 1, if we look at it, see how this has n squared and this is x squared? So that means that 5 is a. This is my a. Okay, the part that just has the x or just the n is going to be the b. So my b is -4. Okay, my b is -4. And that's really important to make sure you include that negative. Okay, whereas my c, if it's anything other than a plus, again, so that means my c is -96. Okay, I want you to take a second, look at it while I'm talking to you, okay? Look at number 2. What is my a? This is where you guys answer. Good. A is 1. What is B? B is 7. What is C? C is -144. Look at number 3. What is A? A is 6. What is B? B is +5. What is C? Okay, and you're just going to say 5 in that case. Okay, C is -14. Okay, look at number 4. What is A? A is 2. What is B? B is -1. So again, if there's nothing in front of that K, it's really a 1, and there's a negative in front of that on top of that. So it's -1. And what is my C? C is -6. After you know your A, B's, and C's, I swear to you, it's pretty much typing in the calculator today. Okay? So, although there's only 8 problems, they will probably take us a little bit because we go nice and slow. Have somebody pause, make sure you guys are staying on track. Okay, so here is the formula, and it is on the board. But our formula goes like this: -b, make sure you have this somewhere in your paper, square root, oh, I forgot something, just kidding, plus or minus the square root. Okay, if you write really big, I would write smaller today. B squared minus 4 times our A times our C. Let me go ahead and make these big B's. All over, and that's important, 2A. Okay, this really equals x equals that. Okay, so it really looks really complex. I'm not going to lie to you, and it looks scary, okay? But really, it's A, B's, and C's we're plugging in. Okay, so as long as you know what your A, B's, and C's are, you should be totally fine. Okay, so that is just the formula. I don't expect you to memorize it. Obviously, write it down for notes, and I will have you write it down for your test so you have it for notes. Okay, so we got the negative. The negative always goes there. Parenthesis. My B, what is my B on number 1? My B is -4. Plus or minus, again, I'm just copying this formula. I got another B, so it's going to be -4. So we're going to say parenthesis, -4 squared minus 4, that goes a part of the formula, so we're going to say minus 4. What is my A? My A is 5. What is my C? My C is negative 96. Okay, if you forget that negative, your problem is not going to work. All over 2 times my A. Okay, well my A again is 5. Okay, the easiest way to do these is just to work step by step. Okay, so you guys know, what is a negative going to make? Positive. So over here, you're just going to get positive 4. Okay, so that's that first part. Plus or minus. Okay, now, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but in today's case, I want you to type all of this part with the square root included on the calculator. Okay, so we're going to type in square root. Okay, and that's about here. Is your square root button. We're going to say negative 4 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 96. Okay, so it should look just like what your paper does, okay? Make sure you have parentheses around the stuff that should have parentheses, and then what most people forget is that squared. Okay, so make sure you don't forget him. The button's right next to the square root. Okay, so we're going to hit equals. You should have gotten 44. So I want you guys to all take a second, pause, help your neighbor if they did not get 44, or if they're not getting what's going on, okay? So you should have gotten 44. So again, somebody pause, who's ever at my computer, pause. Okay, so for this entire thing, we've gotten 44. Okay, now, looking at the bottom here, we got 2 parentheses 5. That really means 2 times 5. And what is 2 times 5? 10. Good job. Okay, so 10. So we took all of this craziness, and it came into all this craziness, and now we're just down to this. Okay, which is looking pretty good. Okay, this part is fairly easy as well. Okay, so the one thing we definitely need to talk about, and it probably looks funny, is this plus minus. Okay, what that means is, and I'm going to write it out on this one, but a lot of times this is a step that I would suggest skipping, and you totally can. This is going to look like 4 plus 44 over 10. And the other one is going to look like 4 minus 44 over 10. Hey, what is the difference between these two? Yeah, okay, so one has a plus, one has a minus. That's what this does. It really says you're going to have 2 solutions, one with a plus, one with a minus. Okay, so now this part on the calculator, again, is pretty easy. Okay, so clear out your calculator. You're going to hit your fraction button. Okay, and we're going to type in 4 plus 44 on top. And we're going to hit that down arrow. And we're going to type in 10 on the bottom. And then hit equals. It should look just like your paper does. And that gave me 24 over 5. Okay, now, again, for today, because I'm not here, I don't care if you have 24 over 5 or if you want to push that SD button and do 4.8. Either one of those works. I prefer the fraction. Okay, so this is 24 over 5. Okay, and then same thing, you don't need to erase here, so we know that this is gonna stay the same, so you're gonna hit over, and where that plus is, we're gonna hit delete and hit minus. And you should get negative 4. Okay, so we really have 2 solutions. Don't forget this x equals 24 over 5, and or x equals negative 4. Okay, and eventually, not today, but eventually we'll talk about what can we do with those solutions, what do the different kinds of solutions mean, okay? But essentially, if we remember, we had this quadratic and we were trying to factor it and we couldn't factor it, so essentially these are the factors. This is what would be like, they're not, but in the parentheses, those numbers, like you'd have x plus or minus 4 and then an x plus or minus 6, okay, like this. That's what numbers are essentially here, okay, is those factors. But we can factor it that way, so this is the way that we have to do it instead. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, so I'm gonna write down my formula again. You don't have to, but that way I can kind of point to it and we'll talk about it. So I got x equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times their a. Okay, the one thing I didn't touch, those parentheses are really, really important, so make sure you're using them. Okay, so we need to look at this and decide what is my a, b, and c. Okay, so take a second and look at 3, figure out what is a, what is b, what is c. Okay, so I got, for my next line, I'm going to have x equals negative. Well, what is my b? Well, my b is 5 plus or minus b squared, so it's going to be 5 squared. Okay, don't forget the squared. That's the one thing people forget. Minus 4. I'm just following along with the formula. A, and my a is 6. So it's going to be parentheses 6. C, my c is negative 14. All over 2 times my a again, which is 6. Okay, so if we reflect back from the last one, see how I had that negative negative here? Okay, on this one we don't have a negative negative, so it's really saying negative and then a 5. So on the outside we're just going to get negative 5. Okay, so we're going to have x equals, and we're just going to get negative 5 plus or minus. Okay, and here's where we're going to type. You're going to type in all of this, including the square root and the squared on your calculator. Okay, so again, we're going to hit square root, and we're going to get 5 squared. Don't forget your squared button. Minus 4 times 6 minus 14. Okay, take a second. Somebody pause. Make sure you guys all try to type. If you need help, ask your neighbor. Somebody around there knows what they're doing. Okay, so you should get 19. Ooh, I don't want to use yellow. Okay, 19. And because we included that square root, the square root is gone. So we got 19. All over, and we got to do this bottom part. What is 2 times 6? Well, that's 12. Okay, and again, we got that plus minus, so we can write it twice. X equals negative 5 plus 19 over 12. And we got negative 5 minus 19 over 12. Okay, so we wrote that twice. And again, at this part, if you don't want to write this out, I just did on this one. The next one I probably won't. You most certainly don't have to. You can go straight from the calculator typing in. You can say negative 5 plus 19 over 12, write down your answer, and then do the minus and write down your answer. That is totally sufficient. Okay, so again, you're going to hit that fraction button. And we got negative 5 plus 19 on the top. And then you're going to hit that down arrow and go to the bottom, and that's going to give you 12. So I got 7 over 6. So we got x equals 7 over 6. And for the other one, again, you make your life easier, okay? Hit that over arrow until you get to that negative, and you're going to get negative 2. Okay, so those are our 2 solutions. Okay, if somebody's not done, go back so I can scroll. Okay, so we've done 2 really slow. Let's pick up the pace. These should go fairly quick, okay? So I got negative b plus or minus. No, I'm not even doing the formula this time. I'll write it up here. Negative b plus or minus. The formula is on the erase board over here. So if you need it, it's up there. Okay, so I got x equals negative, my b in this case is negative 7 plus or minus negative 7 squared minus 4. What is my a? My a is 1. And my c? My c is 10. All over 2 times my a My A is 1. Okay, what is a negative negative 7? It's going to be positive 7 plus or minus. What are we going to get for the bottom? 2 times 1 is going to be 2. Okay, and then again, this whole part is the part that you're going to be typing in your calculator. Don't forget the square root or the squared. If you get something that says error or it's something really, really big, that means you messed it up. Okay, you should have gotten 3. Okay, so now, and this is why we're saying you can kind of skip some steps on your calculator or on the paper. So we know we're going to do 7 plus 3 over 2. And some of these you can do in your head, okay? And in this case, I'm gonna, but you're more than welcome to just type it in. Okay, what is 7 plus 3? Well, that's 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. X equals 5. 7 minus 3 is going to be 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2. Okay, but again, you can just do those in the calculator. Type in the fraction, do one with a plus, one with a minus. Okay, I'm going to have x. Oh, poop. X equals negative. What is my b? My b is negative 3 plus or minus negative 3 squared minus 4 times my a, which is 3, times my c, which is negative 126. All over 2 times my a, which is 3. Okay, and then going on to solving, we got x equals, what is a negative negative 3? So it's going to be 6 plus or minus. What are we going to get for the bottom part here? 2 times 3 is also going to be 6. And then the other part, we're going to type in on the fractions. You're going to have square root, negative 3 squared, don't forget the squared, minus 4 times 3 times negative 126. Is going to be 39. Okay, so we got 6 plus 39 over 6. Okay, so again, I'm not even writing that part down. We know what the plus minus does, so you can just do it on your calculator. Okay, you're going to get 15 over 2, which is totally okay. You're going to get some fractions, you're going to get some whole numbers. Okay, and then we can go through here and edit it. And click delete and hit the minus. And we got negative 11 over 2. Again, just because it's a negative, it's fine. Okay, even though the formula is crazy, these are almost, I would say, faster than the guess and check. Once you get like the hang of them, okay? So, you know, just a thought to keep in mind. Okay, we got x equals negative. What is my b? My b is negative 11 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so negative 11 squared, minus 4 times my a. What's my a? 3 times my c, negative 60. All over 2 times my a, which is 3. Okay, so again, what is a negative negative? Well, that's going to be a positive. So that makes it a positive 11 plus or minus. Okay, and again, the bottom part we can do in our head too. What is 2 times 3? It's going to give me 6 on the bottom. And then this part we're typing in on the calculator. So make sure you hit square root, parentheses, negative 11 squared, minus 4 times 3 times negative 60. Okay, you should get 29. Good job. Good job. I know, I see. Okay, and then we're going to do that plus minus. So we got 11 plus 29 over 6, which is 20 over 3. And we're going to switch that and do a minus, which is negative 3. Okay, you guys have 5 to do. That's it. Go through, get them done. As of right now, you have about probably 20 minutes or so. Okay. I want you to try. We're only spending 2 days doing these, so and these are going to be on your final. So definitely try to do the other side. This is one of the easier days. And then make sure you put your name on it and put it in the box. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, peeps.